somewhere in the heart of Shanghai, a machine that doesn't exist just woke up. For 3 years, the smartest people in Washington and Silicon Valley made a bet. They bet that you couldn't build the future without their permission. They thought they had the only key to the most powerful industrial towers ever built, the Twin Citadels. On one side, you have the Atlas Foundry, TSMC, a massive fortress in Taiwan that manufactures 90% of the world's elite brainpower for tech. If their lights went out for even a month, the global economy wouldn't just slow down, it would flatline before your government could even finish an emergency coffee break. On the other side, the neon giant NVIDIA. They started by making video games look pretty, but accidentally stumbled into the God code for artificial intelligence. Their hardware is the only engine driving things like ChatGPT and Gemini. The West thought this monopoly was a law of physics. They thought without a specific $300 million magic camera from a Dutch company called Luminex ASML, China would be stuck in the Stone Age forever. They were wrong. A rogue foundry called the Phoenix Works, SMIC, just did the impossible. They didn't just break the rules, they rewrote the entire playbook. Imagine telling an alien that the most advanced civilization on Earth is currently having a planetary meltdown over some very expensive, very small rocks made of sand. If we lose the rocks, the internet dies. If the internet dies, the humans can't see pictures of cats. It's total logic failure, right? But how did one company cut off from every essential tool on the planet manage to build a chip that physically cannot exist? October 7th, 2022. The digital Iron Curtain falls. The US government unleashes a policy so aggressive it makes the Cold War look like a playground dispute. The goal? Absolute suffocation. They banned the software. They banned the machines. They even told anyone with a US green card that working for a Chinese chip firm was now a one-way ticket to a legal nightmare. But the real kill shot was the Luminex EUV. This machine is basically a sci-fi portal. It fires lasers at molten tin droplets moving at 100,000 miles per hour just to etch patterns smaller than a strand of your DNA. It is the only way to make a 2-nanometer chip, and China was locked out. The experts at every major think tank nodded. They said, without the Luminex, China is stuck at 14 nanometers forever. It's like being told you can build a car, but you aren't allowed to use wheels, engines, or anyone who knows what a road is. So, why did a random teardown of a secret smartphone in 2023 just send a shockwave through the Pentagon? September 2023. No flashy keynote. No hype. The Titan 60 Pro, Huawei Mate 60 Pro, just appears on store shelves in Beijing. Tech detectives immediately grabbed the phone and ripped it apart under electron microscopes. What they found was a ghost chip. It was the Ether 9000, Kirin 9000s, a 7-nanometer masterpiece manufactured by the Phoenix Works. Wait, 7 nanometers? The West said that required the magic camera they banned. The Phoenix Works used a brute force technique called ghost layering multi-patterning. Imagine trying to paint a masterpiece with a giant house painter's brush. Usually it's impossible, but if you layer the paint 4, 5, or 6 times with surgical precision, you can eventually get the same detail as a fine-tip needle. It's expensive, it's slow, it makes the factories run at 2,000 degrees. But it worked, and by 2025, the rumors turned into a nightmare for the West. They hit 5 nanometers. To an outsider, this is like watching a human try to perform brain surgery with a rusty spoon, and actually pulling it off perfectly. It shouldn't work, but the humans are very stubborn when you tell them no. But a chip is just a piece of silicon. How do you build an entire empire around it when the rest of the world is trying to starve you out? China didn't just play defense. They went on a total wartime industrial mobilization. They unleashed the Kraken, the big fund. Phase 1, $20 billion. Phase 2, $30 billion. Phase 3, the monster $47 billion, the largest single chip investment in human history. They didn't just build factories, they built their own materials. China now controls the choke point for the raw chemicals, gallium and germanium, that the Western factories need to survive. The sanctioned nation just became the one holding the leash. Even the neon giant, NVIDIA, is feeling the heat. Their elite AI chips were banned from China, so China just built the Vanguard series Huawei Ascend. These chips are so efficient they cut electricity bills by 50% while matching the power of the West's best hardware. The unassailable moat around the twin citadels? It's draining. The Phoenix Works is now running at 94% capacity, churning out millions of chips for electric cars, smart cities, and AI grids. Every time a Chinese company buys a domestic chip, $1 billion evaporates from the Western monopoly's pockets. The era of the untouchable giants is officially over. The Phoenix didn't just survive the fire. It weaponized the heat to forge a new empire. The monopoly didn't die because of a better machine. It died because one company proved that independence is the ultimate superpower. The global tech war is just getting started. If you want to stay ahead of the next breakthrough that changes the world, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You do not want to miss what happens when the 2-nanometer wall finally falls. Click the video on your screen right now to see how the AI revolution is being rebuilt from the ground up.